In the last 3 years or so, two significant changes have happened in the markets, where because of the pharmaceutical companies and COVID medications, pharmaceutical companies' share prices have grown. Defense companies' contractors' prices have grown dramatically after the Russian war. And in between, freight companies, shipping, freight companies. Did you see these trends? Did you invest in these? Are these within what you call your circle of competence?
I'm too dumb to do these. So I actually skipped the entire US healthcare sector because it doesn't run on market forces, it runs on other forces other than the market. Yeah, so I think anything in healthcare or pharmaceuticals or anything, I just don't even look at because I don't think I bring it into the party. Usually, I think that if you look at things in this type of a lens, my general sense is you'll be late to the party. So I think that there's a lot of smart people in the markets. And the question you would ask is, if you look at pharmaceutical companies today, are they still a great deal? They may be, but they're not obvious to me. So I would say that probably it's better to look where it's not in the headlines. There's a friend of Charlie Munger's, John Arriaga. He passed away, I think, a couple of years back, multi-billionaire. And John only invested in his entire life within 2 miles of the Stanford University campus. So he only invested in real estate, and he only invested in real estate just around the Stanford campus. And if you walked with him in that area, he could just look at every building and tell you what the rent is, what the cost of the building is, what the history of the building is, the pricing. He knew that area cold. So what is John Arriaga's circle of competence? It is not real estate. It is not California real estate. It is not even Northern California real estate or Bay Area real estate. It is real estate in a very small geography. So the thing about investing is that we don't need to know. So if I were talking to John and say, hey John, pharmaceuticals are doing great, he would just go straight over. He wouldn't even pay attention. And if I told him, listen, Southern California real estate is doing great, he would not care about that either. But if I talked to him about some particular building on El Camino, like near the Stanford campus or something, he'd be all ears. He'd be interested. And basically what he did is that when things got very euphoric in these areas, he unloaded the entire portfolio and he went completely to cash. And he could clearly tell when the ratio of rents to prices people were willing to pay him, 3% cap rates or whatever, he was out. And then when the downturns came, he just bought it all out. So he just did this a few times and mostly just held on to it. So basically, and I think in investing, the important thing is the first most important question to ask, is it in my circle of competence? Is something I'm looking at, I understand really well. And I don't have a clue about pharmaceuticals. I don't have a clue about defense stocks. I've never spent much time looking at them. And again, I don't like to, that again gets away from market forces. So I just stay away from something driven by the government and so on. And so I think the thing is that because these are auction-driven markets, because people are vacillating between fear and greed all the time, there's all kinds of things going on with individual companies all the time. And so if there's something that you can understand well, and the pricing is not like 20% off, I would say that the pricing is 80% off, 90% off, that should get you excited.